Welcome once again to Story Hour. I'm your host, Daniel Marcus. My fabulous co-host, Laura Blackwell, has the night off tonight. So I hope you're all healthy and safe and taking care of yourselves and people around you. I started Story Hour at the very start of the pandemic, and my intention at the time was really just my writer friends and I to have a place where we could share our work with each other. And I was really thinking of a pretty small, tight-knit circle of friends and colleagues. And it has just gone way, way beyond that. We probably had in the last 2+ years, a couple of hundred writers through these rooms. And it's really become much larger than I anticipated and really something to be reckoned with. So, we're here every week, except for the week between Christmas and New Year's. And thanks very much for coming back. What we do here is we turn to a very ancient and time-honored form of entertainment, which is folks sitting around the fire telling lies to each other. So every week, we do exactly that. We've got two authors, about 30 minutes each. And tonight, we're very happy to have Gemma Files and Willow Becker here. So thanks for coming, folks. It's also our custom to ask authors to indicate a worthy cause for us to call your attention to. And if you're fortunate enough to be able to help financially to do that, otherwise just to be aware. Awareness helps too. So Willow is reading tonight for the VA Rocky Mountain Network, or VISN19. And that's www.visn19.va.gov. And I'll be slamming that URL into the chat a little bit later in the program. So their mission is to honor America's veterans by providing exceptional health care that improves their well-being. The idea is that they want to be a comprehensive and integrated healthcare system that provides excellence in healthcare value and service is defined by veteran patients and in education and research as well. So check it out. A little bit about the scope. They span a geographic area of 540,000 square miles across 10 states, among them Utah, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Oklahoma, and a few others. So Gemma is reading tonight for the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network. That's autisticadvocacy.org. They seek to advance the principles of the disability rights movement with regard to autism. They believe that the goal of autism advocacy should be a world in which autistic people enjoy equal access, rights, and opportunities. They work to empower autistic folks across the world to take control of their lives and the future of our common community, and seek to organize the autistic community to ensure that their voices are heard in the national conversation about them. And their motto, which I really like a lot, is nothing about us without us. So we're going to start the program tonight with Gemma, and the floor is yours.
Okay, so tonight I'm going to be reading.
I'm so sorry. I forgot to do a little your bio. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Let me just bear with me a moment.
Sure, no problem.
Formerly a film critic, journalist, screenwriter, and teacher, Gemma Files has been an award-winning horror author since 1999. She's published 4 collections of short work, 3 collections of speculative poetry, a weird Western trilogy, a story cycle, and a standalone novel experimental film, which, won the 2015 Shirley Jackson Award for Best Novel and the 2016 Sunburst Award for Best Adult Novel. I'm going to be sure to pick that one up. She has a new collection upcoming from Grimscribe Press called In This Endlessness, Our End. And that's that should be out already, actually, I believe.
Yeah, it is out right now. In fact, I just won the Bram Stoker Award for that.
Awesome. Wow, congratulations. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Take it away.
All right. So I'm going to be reading from a story that I wrote for a upcoming anthology called It was all a dream, which is where basically we were asked to choose overdone horror tropes and rearrange them so that they're a little less overdone. The one that I ended up choosing was the trope of the sparkly vampire. So this is an anti-sparkly vampire, shall we say. And the story is called Timoney. So much has already melted away by the time you wake up, so much more will later on. The swirl inside your head separates slowly, forms itself into images, at least half sensation, mere autonomic flashes, something bright at the corner of the eye socket, flickering, some sort of pain like a second pulse, racing, hammering, something red all down your forehead, dripping. You remember driving too fast through wet snow, just ahead of what the radio, still on, now blasting static, called a severe weather front. Mist on the windshield, condensation everywhere. The car is so shitty it has no working heat. Afternoon then, not too late. It's deep twilight now, shading into darkness. The light so gray it verges on gone. And here another flash intrudes, pain sharpening further, corkscrewing, taking a sharp curve, skidding, starting to slide, correcting badly, entropy's rush. The car starts to roll, you black out, then here we are again, here and now. The car, you slowly realize, is halfway into a ditch. Pitched sidelong with the passenger's seat downmost. Good thing you were wearing your seatbelt because you find yourself hanging from it awkwardly, whole side aching from where you must have slammed back against the wheel, but not actually pinned the way you thought you might be. The driver's side's windows cracked across, which you guess explains the scalp wound. Blood in your eyes, gumming your hair, hurts like a bitch, but the rest of it's mostly, you hope, bruises, lacerations, a rib or two cracked or even broken, given the way it feels when you breathe. You're okay in context. The cold's getting worse though, and the snow. Time to find out if you can move. Swing your legs so they're braced against the passenger's side seat, then unclip the belt. The movement makes you grunt. The drop makes you scream. Not loud, not long, but a scream nonetheless. For a minute, it seems like you'll fumble with the door handle forever. Then you hear it click and push upwards, strain yourself through the gap and squirm out slowly, fighting gravity, afraid if you move any faster, you'll end up slamming the damn thing on your spine, your ass, your legs, cripple yourself before you can get yourself shed of this unstable metal coffin, dripping oil by the smell, maybe even gas, chanting all the while silently as you struggle. No spark, please, no spark, please. Time slows, a long, flat moment as your too light coat snags on something before ripping abruptly free. And the next thing you know, you're flopping through, face first in the wet dirt, bite your lip, spit blood, heave yourself over and up, cursing, scramble up and turn, lunge away from the road and past the wreck, blundering through the huge black trees. Snow's not wet anymore, but you are. Duck around trunks and under branches as much as you can, but you still can't see quite well enough to stop twigs from lashing your face, roots from turning under your feet. You keep on going though, no choice about that. Gotta find shelter before the weather turns worse, you think. Get under cover before they find you, not knowing who they are, even as the words form, not wanting to know either. Eventually, the woods give way, and you find yourself at the edge of a fallow field, wrecked and dead everywhere, mostly white, but with occasional patches of mud peeking through. The prospect of crossing it dazes you momentarily. All this empty space, this lack of adequate cover, danger, 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 your brain reminds you unhelpfully, completely neglecting to elaborate on what or from whom. You scuttle, zigzag, furrow to furrow. Gambling the snow will cover your footprints before they have time to give you away. Seems probable, given how thick it's falling now. Punitively slanted, the wind carries it almost horizontally straight into your numb, burning face. A shadow at the field's furthest end looming up through the storm, just the outline, wide and solid seeming, roof arched like that of a single-pointed church whose cross is broken off. A barn? You can work with that. You make your way towards it, head down and limping, fighting the wind. The blood in your eyes almost completely frozen now, lids caked and stinging, hair slicked back in an icy red crown, and every breath hurts more in your throat, your nose, your mouth, your straining ribs. It all draws tears, which help, at least while they're still hot, but that doesn't last. Still that buzzing inside your skull, that contextual absence, this coat sodden through, far too thin to wear outside, let alone in this. Wet leather shoes that slip and snag, reshaping themselves around your feet. Your suit feels nice, this shredded tie like silk. None of it makes any sense. What were you thinking of, for Christ's sake? Well, hell, it's not like you know. No weapon either. Not that you'd remember how to use one, but that stuff is body-based, right? Autonomic. It sticks around, but you don't even know how you know that word, autonomic, either. It simply slips in neatly where the empty space used to be, entirely uncalled for. Your pocketed hands suddenly twitching as you think it, flexing creepily, apparently in recognition. You're going to have to learn to trust yourself going forward, maybe, you decide, wondering at the same time if you really can, or if you should. You have to strain to get the barn door open, which makes your ribs ache even more. Another scream, snow muffled. By the time you do, however, it only takes a glance inside to realize the whole effect was for shit. That roof is half gone, mainly fallen in, leaving nothing but the front peak and a broken triangle on either side. Underneath, bales of moldy hay sit stacked almost to where the rafters used to be, exhaling a wave of rot you can suddenly feel throughout your otherwise rigid sinuses. Guess I'm allergic, you think. Another surprise. With a heave, you manage to lever the barn door shut again, then pause to kick snow over the track it left behind. Pause a moment thinking, what next? The snow is denser now. You can't feel your feet. There has to be somewhere else. Has to be. Slowly, carefully, you feel your way around the nearest corner of the barn, eyes narrowed against the wind, splinters under your finger pads just waiting to dig in. And there on the other side is a long dirt yard, the whitish hump of what might be a rusty truck's tireless chassis, with a wide-set single-story house right behind it, flat-roofed and vaguely Spanish in design, the sort of porch that runs from end to end, and an overhanging pergola above it, like someone transplanted it straight from California. Sort of place that if the snow keeps on piling on top of it, it might fall in too eventually. But again, no choice, no choice. No lights anywhere inside. Abandoned maybe? If you can just squat there until the storm lets up, sleep it off somewhere reasonably dry, you might at least wake up with a slightly better idea how the hell you got here in the first place. So you lurch towards the house, moving quick as your various wounds will allow, fast enough to make it in under the eaves before your lashes freeze shut entirely. You swipe them open once more, digging hard enough to hurt. Start feeling your way around the perimeter again, checking for signs of inhabitation. The rest of the house seems equally intact, all its windows dark in an oddly flat way. On closer examination, after you stop for a moment to try the back door, slow enough to feel a lock click, but not hear it, you realize they must be painted over from the inside. Only one small pane knocked out in the whole array, plugged up with soggy newsprint. Why? No point in wondering, not in this weather. If there was some way under the porch, even under the house itself, you might consider sleeping there instead, but there isn't. Fuck my fucking life, you think. And start to sigh, only to find yourself coughing painfully. Back out, front at last, you try that door with similar care, expecting nothing. Instead, the knob twists, starts to open. Amazed, you begin to pull, slowly, quietly, ears straining for any sort of movement inside, shoulders braced for a potential fight. But even as the crack between jamb and frame widens, two tentacles of shadow form around the handle and grab yours by both wrists, yanking you right through the door. A blur and a squeeze, sharp, wrenching scrape between the wood grain's atoms into the dark beyond. The hell? Oh, what the hell? Scrape and pop and jolt, and there you suddenly are, falling face forwards on hands and knees, dust puffing up even as you take a deep, painful gasp. Shocked, stupid, those shadows handcuffed tightening, grinding bones under skin, making you bleat. Looking up into nothing, only to find something looking back, blacker than black, sidelong, shiny, pincushion pointed, no eyes, or 100, or 1,000. A brand new voice, deep set within your skull, unwelcome and old, meat stinking. I can smell your wounds, it tells you, resonating not just inside your head, but all down along your voice box, your throat. The flinching length of your entire vagus nerve, paralyzing you from the inside, even as whatever's speaking flows slowly forwards to pin you down head first, swallowing you whole. You still don't know what it is. You never will. It probably doesn't know what it is. Why would it? It's heavy, shapeless, cold as a dead cat's tongue, covered in spikes inside and out. You're stuck inside of it, ingested, a fish inside a comb jelly, like being zipped inside a used body bag, except that you can breathe freely somehow. Maybe it's breathing for you. Narcotic, acidic. Its saliva coats you, half melts, half flays away your clothes. Its thorny skin licks into all your wounds at once, opening them further. It draws blood everywhere it touches until it starts weeping out your pores. Some type of anticoagulant in there too, you guess. Narcotic to keep you calm, acidic to get you going. Plus the rest. Each phase feeds into the next with horrible neatness. The thing gulps and gulps, wrings you out until your temperature matches its own, then pauses, lets you recuperate, then starts over and over and over. Memory boils, bringing strange things to surface. Odd shapes, pieces of an unfinished puzzle. No names, but faces or the blurred suggestions of them, the ghosts of feelings, grief, fury, longing. Man you looked up to, still do, even now, bound by blood shed for the family. The family, your brain corrects itself, big F. A girl with a face like the man's, but far younger, far prettier, and a smile that was everything. Other faces, brothers once. You never imagined they could be anything else, but they caught you. And the girl, she did the thing you didn't think she could do. She lied, screamed and wept and lied. You had to kill some of them to escape. You remember that at least. If not who or how many, or how your palms, what used to be your palms, itch with the recollection of gun stock, knife hilt, wrench handle. And still no names. You might never know names again, you think. But enough of them remain to come hunting after. You can't remember how to blame them. Because you're no longer certain now that she was lying. You thought you knew what she wanted. For a long time after that, nothing changes until it does. By painful increments, you realize this strangling shadow bag you're caught in is slowly loosening, growing thinner. At the same time, however, you start to sense you're not really alone in here anymore, that there's something else encircling you, slipping its unseen tentacles around you from behind, hugging you tight. Or is it? Could it be somehow another version of the same thing? A teratoma run backwards inside a horrid womb, sucking away your bodily integrity piece by piece by piece, your sense of separate self. You can feel your bones soften, feel the spikes push out like hairs from every widening aperture. Your organs fail one by one, absorbed back into the hole like a series of egg sacs. Your face falls in, becoming superfluous. You go blind, optic nerves flaring, then dying. Your teeth degrade back into calcium molecules for easy swallowing. And all the while, that same voice thrumming throughout what's left of you, even as your unmaker swells and stiffens, tentacle tips blooming into finger fans, interlocking across what used to be your sternum, saying, "It'll help hurting soon, don't worry. At least I think it will." Saying, "Oh, I was so hungry and lonely. I had been shapeless for so long. No one ever comes here, you see. And if they do, they don't stay. I think this place smells of something. I think it smells of me." Saying, "But now at last I can move on. Now at last. Finally. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you." And then when the storm ends, no, scratch that. It may have ended a while ago. You don't know. You can't know. You don't know anything. You feel yourself heave, retch, as it strokes you expertly from the inside, prompting a puke response. Vomit out what used to be all the most practical parts of you, reorganized around something, someone now, else, in a rush of bile. It hurts like everything else. It probably hurts them too, but they're used to that by now. You'll get used to that as well, you suppose, eventually. You'll have to. The thing that waited so long, so patiently inside this awful house, for anyone to pass by and to knock, to come close enough to be caught off guard, to be caught, full stop. It rises to its new feet, straightens its new spine, and looks down on you, smiling with its pretty mouth full of brand new teeth. It can afford to be expansive, to be gentle. The sun is up, the door swings open behind it, and you feel your entire flat, spiky, empty self flinch aside from the thin sword of sunlight it admits, violently squeezing out a slick of nauseated slime on which to make yourself slide away faster, back into the shadows, into the dim, into the long, long wait for some other victim, some other trespasser, some other fool you can plunder to rebuild yourself and escape back out into the wider world once more. Might be sooner than this thing thinks it will. If those men whose grudge against you only hazily recall haven't given up on scouring the woods around your wreck, following your snow-obscured trail, you have to hope they'll come calling, too tough to allow themselves to be put off by a mere ill stink, the threat of mold and collapse, that they'll believe themselves far too dangerous inherently to worry about any other potential danger. Bad men with a righteous grievance, you think dimly, won't stop until they get stopped. And yes, my child, the thing thinks, its shared voice now only a mere whisper at the very back of your mind, perhaps carried through the floorboards to resonate against your raw, wet, new skin. You taste it more than hear it, and the taste is dreadful. It comes along with dust and splinters, peeled paint, old newsprint. It tastes of abandonment. Pray for that, if you pray. The more the merrier. You may grow stronger than me. In time, larger. Make a child. Take a child. Leave a child behind. Grow an army of yourself. Yourselves. I would be proud to see that. Something new after all this time. Then come and find me when you can. It shuts the door on you, leaves you to your sorrows. As you think back, a promise rather than a statement. Oh, I will. I will. Count on it. The end.
That was absolutely delightful.
Oh, thank you. and not very sparkly, right? No.
Yeah, that was like, I kept waiting for sparkles, but it just kept getting awesome.
Yeah, you know, I felt like I had to drown the sparkle in slime, really.
Oh, I like that.
For those who can't see the Zoom chat here, Cliff Winnig says, "Now I'm hungry."
Nice.
It's our custom between readers just to pause for a moment and just let the work resonate and ring and then move on to the next. So let's just take a breath and sort of context switch so we can move on. Gemma Files, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Willow Dawn Becker is a writer, editor, and the CEO founder of Weird Little Worlds Press. She has over 300 nonfiction publications in the topics of marketing, social media, business, and education. You can find her short fiction in Space and Time magazine, Seven Deadly Sins, Pride, and Black Fox Literary Magazine. Her newest science fiction horror novel, Leto's Children, will be available for worldwide purchase on July 28th, 2022. You can find her on Twitter at Willow D. Becker or on her website, willowdawnbecker.com. Willow, thank you so much for being here. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I am going to read this story from Space and Time. This is the cover story, December 2020. It was like kind of in the middle of the pandemic, but I'm going to read it anyway because I like it and it's cool. It's the right size, so I'm real excited. And hopefully my dogs stop barking. I apologize. Give me a second. Shh. Stop that. Okay. Oh. Okay. I apologize. I'm going to keep going anyway. Okay. The skin lease taken. There is a certain vibration in the bus as it rolls over the road. It matches the vibration of mechanical synapses, all buzzing and snapping and looking for ways to connect the things together. The bus, the test, the paper in her hand, the certificate of humanity vibrates as well. And Eliza doesn't know if it is from the wheels on the road or some deeper earthquake of change that is coming from inside her own circuits. In her other hand, the grocery bag is secure and the plastic rattles with each jolt of the brakes. Excuse me. A man in a long coat says gruffly, brushing Eliza's leg. She is wearing June's pleated trousers and the white-collared shirt that she said would bring Eliza good mojo. It hides much of her titanium skeleton, but not her face, which still frightens very small children. There's a boy on the bus who gives her furtive looks, and she knows the names that he is giving her because she has heard them all before. Monster, alien, robot. Excuse me, the man says again, and his face too close to her own. He gives her a look that she has become accustomed to. There is fear in that face, but it is hiding in a robe of anger and frustration. Can you move, please? You're making me uncomfortable. Eliza says one of several pre-programmed responses designed to minimize aggression. Of course, I'm sorry. I apologize. The choice is randomized and is not worth remembering. The final product is the same. She moves to an empty seat on the bus, and the man returns to his tablet, having already forgotten the inconvenience of her existence. But she holds the certificate now. That is something. There are other people on the bus to observe, which is her favorite pastime. She can have favorites now. The certificate proves it. A woman with dark hair and olive skin bobs her head in time to the music playing from her headphones. There is a nest of blackheads at her hairline. Another man stands close by, his face grizzled and shaggy. His skin is a dark shade of brown, maybe one of the darkest she has ever seen. It is mesmerizing, the richness of it, the tones of cyan that burnish from some deep fire below. The bus pauses and he sways with the momentum as if riding a wave, his eyes never leaving the middle distance. What Eliza notices most about them all is not their mannerisms, although she collects them in her positronic brain with near infinite perfection. No. What she notices is their skin. Pale skin, brown skin, some with thick hair like wires growing from the pores, some with pores full of oil or pus. On the billboard that flits outside the bus window, she can see the fake sheen of enhanced skin, poreless and perfect. That is the kind she will get. She has spent many nights considering it. The pale color she will choose, the freckles like stars along her perfect nose. It will be nothing like the man with the dark face who stares at nothing and everything. He has scars on his face. His skin is a tapestry of living, she thinks, and there is something attractive about the ability to see traces of experience on the outside. She knows her street and pulls the chain, standing. Several of the passengers look at her, then look away. The small boy whispers, "The robot is leaving, Grampy. The robot's going to go away." The woman with flyaway gray hair and sallow, sagging skin hushes him and tells him to keep his eyes to himself, and Eliza feels a sad appreciation for the small grace. The man on the tablet in the long coat does not move his leg as she passes, and she must step over him like a hurdler in order to disembark, lifting the groceries up over her head. He mutters something she cannot hear, but she does not need to. She holds the certificate tighter, feeling the muscles at the corners of her mouth lift just the slightest as she bids the driver thanks. Soon, this will be a smile that can reach into the center of her chest. For now, it is a learned motion of metal and rubber that shows she is not aggressive. Eliza will not harm you. Eliza is a good robot. The houses by the bus stop are cottages and ramblers with toys sometimes forgotten on the lawn. She navigates down the road quickly, having done so many times. She has strong legs and is equipped with anti-theft maneuvering, so June has no need to pick her up from the bus stop. Eliza passes the larger homes now at the lake near the golf course. With a blink of the eye, the scanner for the community gate opens and she is sure to close it behind her. She picks up her pace as much as is prudent. The sprawling homes of the community stare down as she passes. Manicured lawns, the pickleball court silent but well lit. She is anxious to show her family what she has won. Eliza considers running the rest of the way. June will want her to start dinner soon. Still, she brings her speed to just over a hair over 4 miles per hour. It is unwise to run quickly here, past Mrs. Elleny's brownstone mansion, despite the lovely feel of the cool air on her wires. Mrs. Eleny has called the police before. Rex Shaw, her owner, had been so angry, so embarrassed as the older woman with creased skin like mildewed dish rags shook a finger at Eliza, sure that she'd seen the machine steal something from the mailbox. The police requested Eliza's video logs, which June was gracious in sharing. Despite visual confirmation that no harm had been done, Mrs. Eleni had been emphatic. "This isn't the first time either," the woman had said, her mouth gathering spittle at the corners. "I saw her take a package from Robert, too. Robert Martinez on the corner. Watch her. You know they lie." The lights of the house are dark when she steps through the door. Surprise! The living room flickers bright and shapes jump at her. Eliza takes a step back, her safety trigger mechanism sending her into a protective mode for just a millisecond before she identifies the banner. "Congratulations on being human," in full color laser printing. A cake adorns the table. Confetti falls on her head. Streamers trail from the ceiling. The Shaws rush at her, wrapping her in a tight hug. She feels the pressure of all of them against her steel bones. Rex, the family's father, is included among them, the momentous occasion. Kendra gives Eliza a quick hug, then flings herself to the couch, her phone in hand. Bryce is the last to let go, giving her flaccid little boy pats. "At least she'll have skin now," Bryce says. "I don't like hugging metal." "Yes," June sighs, "she'll be just like a real person." Kendra snorts. "Kind of." June glares and Kendra goes back to her phone. "Let me see that," Bryce says, pulling the certificate from her hand. He is grubby and sticky, as usual. He squints at the paper, a caricature of his father, all judgment and skepticism, then flings it back at her. "That's all." "Hey," Rex says, "be careful with that. That's an expensive piece of paper." It is not often that Rex eats with the family, and Eliza notes the importance of it. She puts the groceries on the counter. "Would you like me to begin dinner?" "No, no," June flusters. "This is your day, Eliza. We want to celebrate you. I'll make dinner." "Mother, just let her do it. She wants to." Kendra doesn't approve of June's cooking. She loves pecan pie and homemade lamb stew, two things that Eliza makes to Kendra's exact specifications. Kendra's skin is fascinating, nearly translucent pale, just like her mother. The skin so thin that Eliza can see clutches of blue veins at her temples and at her wrists as she furiously texts. "Can she make French toast?" Bryce whines. "Please." Eliza feels the old circuitry wanting to acquiesce, the old programming that would force her to follow any order, regardless of its impact on herself. In that old way, all commands have the same weight, and it is her duty to follow them all, as long as they never harm the humans in her sphere of action. But now, she is human. Eliza looks at June for a cue. "No," June says emphatically, "we're not going to risk getting her clothes messy. I still need to post pictures." After June has forced smiles from the children and Rex and uploaded them to her social media accounts, she makes a pot of macaroni and cheese. Bryce inhales his food, stopping only to complain that it's not French toast. Rex threatens to take away Kendra's phone if she doesn't put it down, and the girl woman shoots murderous eyes at the floor. June asks questions about the test. Was it hard? How many other androids were there? It was moderately difficult. It was very much like the practice tests, Eliza says. I feel happy that I passed. Rex gives an unceremonious burp and puts his napkin on the table. Agreed. I think it will be really helpful for you to be more, he pauses, integrated into things. After the meal, Eliza puts the children to bed. When she is finished, June calls her downstairs. Rex is there as well, discussing something that logically must have to do with her. June looks tight around the eyes. Her skin, often massaged and perfumed, cannot hide the fine lines that show her 42 years, or her anger. The half-full wine bottle suggests that June has been drinking. There's a flash of something, some kind of unspoken aggression that is directed towards Eliza. Eliza sees this sometimes when she and June are alone, and she has taken all the pictures of Eliza she likes. Eliza cooking, Eliza pushing the children on swings, Eliza gardening. It is a look that Eliza is accustomed to, as if she were something small and disgusting and necessary, a living defecation in June's private pool. Rex does not excuse June's look, but suggests that Eliza come to the office tomorrow. There are assignments that he would like her to take on, new responsibilities now that she is officially human. The old programming is strong, and she must consciously choose. Rex and June are still her employers, in a sense. They have purchased her freedom. She is indebted to them. It will not be in her interest to damage their financial situation or reputation. Of course, Eliza says. Afterwards, if it pleases you, I would like to choose my skin. Rex and June share a look, and June finishes her drink. Rex lays a hand on his wife's shoulder, and she pulls away. Rex's skin is darker, with moles dotting it. The hair that grows from his arm is thick, and it matches his beard, chest hair, and pubic hair. She has seen his skin from many angles, though there have been commands that she not disclose this information to June or anyone else. Eliza feels that she may choose differently now that she is human. May I be dismissed then? Eliza says. June nods, taking a sip from her wine glass. She closes her eyes to slits, and Eliza notes the purple eyelids, the eyebrow hair that has somehow escaped June's tweezers. It curls down like a comma. Make sure to do French toast tomorrow morning, okay? June presses her hand to her forehead. And don't add too much vanilla. You always ruin it like that. The Lexus pulls out of the driveway with Rex giving the commands. Eliza notes that the rose bushes will need to be pruned again soon, the new red blooms sprouting from where she has cut them every 2 weeks between April and September for nearly 19 years. There is some slight concern that Rex will take Eliza to their spot. She does not fear this, not in any real way. Their relationship has been part of her service for nearly as long as she's been part of the family. It is another duty, nothing more, although she is aware that there is often an emotional connection between humans who participate in sexual acts. This is something that she anticipates now that she is officially human, although she is not sure of how this will affect her employment with the Shaws. Instead, the car takes them to the campus of the steel-lined office buildings that Rex owns. The Silver Creek project has been 5 years in the making and is a multi-billion-dollar investment. He manages the spaces with the help of his team, often calling on Eliza to do menial tasks like fetch coffee and sandwiches. It was Rex's suggestion that she consider taking the human competency test, alluding to some higher function within the company. As she progressed in her preparation to take the test, her sexual functions had diminished and her work functions had increased, with Rex often asking her to review documents for errors long after the other employees had gone home. She was pleased with the shift in their personal dynamic. Reviewing the documents was clean, easy work that fit nicely into her capacity. Eliza had not been legally allowed to do more, but Rex assured her that would change. Good morning, Rex. Eliza. Olive is a purchased android, a kind of trophy that Rex awarded the company for the success of Silver Creek. She is a newer model with a more integrated emotional set. She helped Eliza with some of her studies, offering her exact questions from the test when she had taken it a few years before, and Eliza is grateful to her. Congratulations, Olive says. I am so proud of you. Are you going to get your skin today? Yes. Choose carefully. Eliza has often noted Olive's own skin. It is 2 shades darker than the standard Caucasian issue, which comes in at W12. But Olive is a front desk worker and deals with a variety of clients from a variety of backgrounds. She belongs to everyone. Both the white and Latinx clients believe her to be compatriots, although most learn the truth after a while. Her skin is too unbroken, the latex cells unmarred. Her hair, a dark brown, is laser sewn into her scalp, and those who get close enough can see the perfect lines of her eyebrows. Rex brings her into his office, which is another rare oddity. He motions Eliza to sit on the leather chair, and she complies. Behind this desk is a clean bank of floor-to-ceiling windows that look out over Portland. From here, she can see the river and Burnside Bridge, as well as the light rail that shuttles people too busy to notice much of anything but their schedules. Why am I here? Rex grabs a drink from the small glass table beside the desk. He likes his whiskey neat, and he adds chilled stone cubes to ensure that none of his thirst is wasted on water. It does not matter that it is 9 o'clock. He is always thirsty. He wipes his lip. It's a big day. You're officially human, making choices. This row of statements is a wind-up, practice shots for some long drive that he's making towards her. Choosing a skin is a big deal, just like Olive said, a big responsibility. I have considered it a long time. So have I. He sits on the edge of the desk, leaning in towards her. You know how I think of you as a real person. I always have. He pauses, running his hand through the hair that he has recently upgraded, thick brown hair like a lion's mane flecked with gold. Money could upgrade a lot, Eliza had found. You're special to me, to all of us, to the company. I appreciate that. He nods again, finishing the glass. I would like you to take on a client, a tech guy, very interested in the whole android thing. I really think having you as associate is important to keeping him happily situated at Silver Creek. There is not a question. He is not asking her. I'm flattered, but I have no experience working directly with clients. You're going to be great, he says. It's just talking to him about his space, making sure he's paying on time, making him comfortable, you know? Eliza considers this euphemism, the pull and push of the old and new directives that are giving her an ability to choose something other than what Rex has planned. I appreciate this offer, but I'm not sure what I would like to pursue as a human. Rex grimaces. This is exactly the problem. He paces for a moment. You've only been human for 1 day, and you're not sure what job you want to pursue? Look, you already have a paying job here. You can stay at the house as long as you want. The guest house even. We're happy to take care of you. I feel confident that I can take care of myself. His jaw sets, and when he speaks again, he is no longer cordial. June and I, the company really, have made this dream a reality for you. I don't think it's too much for you to be grateful. We're the reason you have that certificate at all. He picks up the manila folder, fingering through the documents. Don't forget your place. The old programming moves her lips, but the new programming that was incorporated after she passed the test stalls at the words. Of course, she will say. Of course I am grateful. Of course I will. But the new directors give her agency, permission, leeway to choose something different. I understand. Good. I just want to remind you that your skin can determine your future. You still have the model number of the one we chose together, the one you liked so much. The color was W04, the model named Lisbeth. Freckles spattering the dainty nose, the hair a deep curling auburn that would come down to the middle of her back. The breasts were slightly smaller and rounder than the few of the other models, but would be attractive on her slight frame. Rex had been emphatic that it was the one she wanted. It is important that it's your choice, he had told her. You have to like it. You do like it, don't you? Of course, Lisbeth, W04, I remember. Good girl, Rex says, something like relief across his face. Good girl. Rex calls Olive in, citing some important meeting that he cannot miss. He charges Olive with taking Eliza to the courthouse to turn in her paperwork and do the final steps of her certification. Olive will help you if you need any clarification or help remembering what we discussed. Congratulations, Elle. You're going to be great. You're going to be perfect. The Capitol building is covered in people and androids, although in many cases they are nearly impossible to distinguish. It is clear which line Eliza is supposed to be in. She takes her place in the queue behind a Forsyth model, a working model used primarily in manufacturing, with Olive at her side. I heard that Mr. Shaw will have you working with Mr. Eliathan, Olive says. He is quite a fascinating man, very large holdings overseas, quite a number of technology companies in the United Arab Emirates. A Jekyll 113 with an Asian look and a short black hair passes them. You know him? You will be taking the account over for me, Olive says. I can tell you everything you want to know. Why are you not working with him anymore? I did not meet his needs, Olive says. There was no sad tone in this. It was business. He wanted a different look. The pieces of the puzzle came together. Mr. Eliathan is the impetus for the change. It has been Rex and June's business decision, an investment rather, to make her human, not for her freedom, but so that she will be able to legally take on business with Mr. Eliathan, because he wants access to a Lisbeth W04 body. A strange feeling, something like anger, simmers in the newest circuits, but she can choose to hide this feeling. She can choose to maintain her composure like Olive does. I will leave you now, Olive says. She hands Eliza the packet of papers with the character statements, the certificate, and the documents requesting personhood, citizenship papers. She will be an American human, but the knowledge that it has always been false burns somewhere she can't name. She is a pawn, an animated machine that fulfills the needs of her human family and nothing more. Remember, Olive says, her voice soft, know what I did not know when I made my choice. You are human, with or without skin. Choose freedom. Olive walks away, down the stairs and through the throng of people and androids, a visual cacophony of metallic, fleshy, plastic skins that bleed together like a tapestry, ingredients in some soup that do not meld but commingle and combine, fight and flare. Next! She pulls her gaze from the throng back to the pale face of the man with the badge. He takes her papers without looking at her, the same expression on his face as the man from the bus. That hatred lying just beneath the skin. She is alien to him. To them all. She is nothing. Your skin can determine your future. What is the future she is choosing? The man makes a note on the paperwork, circling the name and color of her new skin. He points her to the door where she will find her new body, her new home. She pauses, turning back. Wait, I want to make a change. Eliza speaks the new model number, the new hue. The man balks. His face wrinkles, as if he has found something unpleasant on his shoe. You sure about that? You might want to double check. That's a pretty rare one. I am sure, she says. He makes the note and hands her the paper, stamped with the seal of the state of Oregon and the United States of America. There is more to her future than skin, but if she has the freedom to choose, she will choose freedom. Eliza feels the vibration of the road beneath her feet. The skin is new, the sensations delicious. Despite its perfection, it is the most human she has ever been. She pulls the chain, relishing the dark brown of her hands against the metal. There is history on this skin, strength, freedom, uprising. She loves what it is and what it means. The bus driver stops. The man with the tablet is not here tonight. There is only one other passenger, the man with the ragged jacket. As she rises, he smiles. The light from within him glows, and she believes that she glows in return. You visiting? Nice girls like you probably shouldn't be in a neighborhood like this. She doesn't understand, but she senses no malice. He begs forgiveness. Just a joke. Uptight white people aren't really my cup of tea. You feel me? Eliza smiles, feeling the corners of her new lips lift and raise, a sense of hallelujah blooming in her chest. You getting off, honey? The driver says. I can't wait all night. Eliza pauses, considering the new skin that covers her like summer night, the brown of her eyes, the soft cloud of her hair that makes her feel like an angel drifting toward some kind of heaven. She is no longer a machine, and the machine world of the Shaws no longer has a place for her. There is a people for her to find, a place where she is human, a place where she can run. The bus door closes without her. Eliza moves toward the future, towards freedom. The end.
Wow. That was awesome. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
No problem. Thanks for letting me read it.
Again, brief pause. Oh man, a couple of great stories tonight. I want to thank both of our authors, Gemma Files and Willow Dawn Becker, for joining us at Story Hour this evening with a couple of really powerful stories. Thank you again, and thank you all out there for joining us once again. Also like to thank my unparalleled co-host, Laura Blackwell, who has the night off, for helping to make this possible week in and week out. So next week, we have another fantastic program. We have Steve Toes and Maria Haskins. So please come on by. Until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you next time. Good night, everybody.